Red Dead Redemption 2 is the greatest story game I've ever played. And I think it's probably the greatest story game ever made, even though I haven't played a lot of story games. If you're new to this channel, this is my second channel, and I kind of just talk on this channel. I just talk about topics that I think are interesting to me, and I just want to highlight at the start of this that Red Dead Redemption 2 is such an important game to me that I've played recently, that it has broke my it's been multiple months now that I've kept a streak of uploading all my titles on this channel with the words in 2025 or most recently in 2026 after whatever the game is about. And this video, I'm going to change it. I don't know if I'll go back afterwards, but Red Dead is that important to me. I have been playing Red Dead Redemption 2 recently. And by recently, I mean I started playing it, I think it was around Christmas. Or I was starting around Christmas, I started replaying Red Dead Redemption 2. I got into replaying there. And I played it like casually. I made it to about midway through Chapter 2 by the weekend of January 10th of 2026. And in that weekend, I played Red Dead for 40 hours. I grinded out the rest of the game because, like, I knew a lot about the story, but I didn't want to progress through Chapter 2. And I ended up just, I went through Chapter 2, Chapter 3, Chapter 4. I finished Chapter 2 and made it to Chapter 3 on a Friday. I went through all of Chapter 3 and made it to Chapter 4 on a Saturday. And then Sunday, I played through Chapter 5 and the large majority of Chapter 6. I genuinely stayed up. I got 4 hours of sleep that Saturday and 4 hours of sleep that Sunday, leading into Monday. And then Monday I beat the game. I woke up at like 2 in the morning on Monday because I ended up getting 4 hours of sleep because I just wanted to wake up early and finish it before I had to do whatever I needed to do on Monday. And I actually didn't. I had to pause the game in a horrible time. Ignore my voice, by the way. It's kind of ironic. I'm trying not to spoil the game fairly at all, even though if you know the game and you know the footage that's on screen, there's some spoilers that are going to show up that I can't avoid. If anyone who hasn't played the game, it's not going to impact you. I recommend you play the game if you do want to. But it's kind of ironic that if you know the game, my throat is just gone. Like I went into the weekend that I played more Red Dead. I went into it with a sore throat that devolved into a cough, and now it's a cough and I've lost my voice. So, kind of ironic. Whatever. We're not gonna get into that. This footage was taken in the epilogue of the game. The start of the epilogue. And again, I'm not gonna get into the story. But I think Red Dead is probably the best story game. That's not probably. It is the best story game I've ever played. And I think it's probably the best story game ever. I think everyone should play this game. Like, I, as a person, have benefited from, watching series of, movies and TV shows. The kind of movies and TV shows that I've tended to love and have grown to love is, my favorite movie of all time is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I'll get into that. My favorite show of all time is the show Vinland Saga, which, again, if you know anything about Vinland Saga, it's got a theme to it. It's got, it's got a message to it. I think every single person in the world should watch Vinland Saga. And Red Dead has become a game that I think everyone should play Red Dead. Genuinely. For the longest time, I've always thought that Minecraft is the greatest game of all time, and I still think that to this day. If you know me well, you'll know that Minecraft is just a game that I don't think anything will ever top Minecraft. It's what I do on my main channel. And with that being said, I have thousands of hours on Minecraft, and my top games of all time, Minecraft is my number 1. My number 2 used to be Hollow Knight, followed by, I think it was Satisfactory, and then probably another game, I don't even know. Maybe Celeste. But for reference, Hollow Knight, I played Hollow Knight for the first time roughly 5 or 6 years ago now. I think Hollow Knight is one of the best games of all time. And I always thought Minecraft is my number 1 game, and below that is Hollow Knight, and I don't think any game will ever surpass my love for both Minecraft and Hollow Knight. To this day, Minecraft has never been even close to beaten, but I will fully admit that Red Dead has beaten Hollow Knight tenfold. It is, and it was January 12th of 2025. I reviewed Cookie Clicker, which I have like over 1,000 hours on. I love Cookie Clicker. And January 12th, 2026, when I reviewed Red Dead Redemption 2, after I beat Chapter 6. I haven't beaten the epilogue yet. I plan to, and then I plan to probably play Red Dead Redemption 1, because it's that good. In that, I think, I say it well in that Steam review, that no game, like, when I think of crying to a video game, I would not count anything below the age of, like, 10, if that makes sense. I think you need to understand that there's a difference between genuinely crying at, like, as crying at a young age over something stupid, and crying as a, like, more mature person to genuine, like, emotion, if that makes sense. And I'd say that under those circumstances, I have never cried to a video game. No game has ever made me cry, like, seriously. And I will fully admit that Red Dead Redemption 2 has made me cry. It is that good of a series. I think everyone should, like, I'm going to go all the way back. We'll go all the way back. 2 years ago, I tried playing Red Dead Redemption 2. I did not finish Red Dead Redemption 2. I made it through, I think, half of Chapter 1. Which, if you know Red Dead Redemption 2, you'll know that the start of Red Dead Redemption 2 is incredibly slow. And you kind of just gotta accept that. It is a very slow start to the game because the intro is very long and the tutorial is very long. But it leads into the best game ever played. Or that you can, like, probably ever play. And I made it through, like, halfway through Chapter 1, and then I quit. Then maybe, like, let's say 6 months goes by. I pick it back up. I make it not even through Chapter 1 again. I put it back down. 6 months go by again. I pick up the game again. I make it to the end of Chapter 1. I make it to Chapter 2. I'm like, okay, the game finally has reached its open world mode, which is the mode that I'm looking for. I was waiting for. I'll put the game down now. I'll go do something else. And I'll pick it back up tomorrow. And then I genuinely never picked it back up. And then, again, right around Christmas, I picked it back up. I went through all of Chapter 1 in one day. And then I hovered in Chapter 2 for a really long time. And then I finished the story. I became obsessed with the story. And I know that I finished the game in like 40 hours. And I fully intend to beat the epilogue and then play the game again. All the way through, doing all the side missions this time. Getting all of the dialogue. Because I want to play. Like, the game is amazing. I think one thing that I need to highlight, I genuinely need to highlight, is something that stuck out to me when I was thinking back on my experience with Red Dead as I went through the game. And that is that as you progress through the game, again, I'm trying not to spoil anything here, but as you progress, like, the game will, like, there's an honor system, and the game will show you your honor, if that makes sense. I'm not going to reveal, but basically, Red Dead did something that I've never seen any game ever do to anyone. And if you've ever passed, like, genuinely middle school, you'll know the difference between direct and indirect, like, dialogue. Like, when somebody tells you something directly, or they indirectly tell you through through words or through reading it. And the game didn't indirectly tell me to do something, but it somehow figured out a way to emotionally make me want to do that thing. Oh my god, I'm, like, genuinely dying. Basically, it emotionally made me want to do the things in the game. That it, like, it made me genuinely want to do what I needed to do. And I think that is something that no game has ever done for me, ever. I love Red Dead. And I'm actually going to cut it short here, because we're nearing the end. But please, like, I don't know how to end this. This is just me. I needed to express how much I love Red Dead Redemption 2. I think everyone should play this game. Please, just... And this isn't targeted at anyone specifically, just anyone watching this. Please play Red Dead. You will regret if you don't. You won't regret it if you don't play it. But you will regret almost not doing it, if that makes sense. Chase Passion. Yeah, that's why I haven't uploaded in like 3 weeks. See ya.